All right, moving on from the channel's International Kids Cup Season 11. Don't forget, you can go to Agege Stadium right from 10 o'clock and you get to see these kids playing good football. We saw them at the preliminaries and, of course, at the international level. They also be giving us all the good goals we want to see. Let's talk about the FIFA Women's World Cup now. It's 17 days to go. It's so close right now, and the Super Falcons players, all of them have been talking tough, especially after winning the Waffle tournament and all that. When you've been able to win a championship like that, you know, you're continental champion and also regional champions, so it shows that you're ready. I mean, the momentum is actually great. You want to keep the spirit on, the fire burning, and see how you can, you know, continue in their stead and just make the best out of the situation. Especially at the beginning, you know, most of the interviews we had with almost all the girls was all about we want good preparations. Now they've had it so good since January. This is May. They've never had it so good before now. So all they have to do is the fact that being able to have the very best of preparations and all you have to do, give your best. Asisa Toshola, of course, she made history scoring the Champions League final. Barcelona had never been there before. She went there. She came in as a super sub, and she gave them the consolation goal. Despite losing 4-1, but then her goal is something that will go down well in history.
She's a top player, so that's an advantage, and that's a good thing for the Super Falcons. You can see Francisca in the picture, in your view there as well. Fantastic player. Onome AB, we can go on and on.
She's almost scoring. I mean, defenders who scores more than the club. Good one.
There you go. Evelyn Wabuku, we saw her at the Waffle Cup.
I hope she makes the final cut. We have 27 players, so 4 will drop.
4 will drop. Time will tell if Evelyn will make the final cut. But still on the Waffle Cup, Uchenna Kanu, I mean, what a way to tell the coach, I am going to the World Cup. I want to go to the World Cup. 9 goals? I thought I counted 10.
10, right? I think it's 10.
Yeah.
Right? Because she had 5.
Yeah.
She had a hat-trick.
Yeah.
Another one.
Then she scored, I counted 10. But she was remarkable at the Waffle Women's Cup, and she definitely knows where the back of the net is. It's going to be very difficult now for the coach to drop such a player. I mean, you've gone to regional tournaments and you have dominated, absolutely. And so if the coach drops her now, a lot of questions will be asked, and he's going to have to like face up and answer those questions. But we'll see when the final list is released. All the other countries, the list are out already. We know who's coming for France. We know who's coming for Norway. Thankfully, Ada is not coming for Norway. South Korea. Yeah, I understand. I mean, yeah, we will take any advantage that comes our way. So it's going to be very difficult, make no mistake about it. Cecilia, the Falcons are still underdogs in that group. But like I said, you don't have to be top 2. You can still qualify as in one of the better place, 3rd place teams. So we're very interested to see the approach the coach takes because we're playing Norway first. And
defensively, it shows they've been good. Right, offensively they need to improve on it because if you check, usually they don't. Apart from when they went to AFCON and all that, conceded a goal against South Africa, they were able to maintain that standard of just shutting everyone out. But then penalties, which is usually a lucky game and all that, so they've done well in that aspect. So offensively they need to improve in that aspect. Understandably so, scoring 23 goals against the teams that I would say maybe they're a little bit smaller teams when it comes to football, women's football in Africa. But then if they can really be offensively good and defensively good, why not? They can go all the way and just be the best Super Falcons team we've ever had. But let's listen to Uchenna Kanu talking about our experience at WAFU and also what they want to achieve at the World Cup in France.
I feel, it's a great opportunity for me to go out there and, play to the best of my ability, and not just that, but to be able to get more exposure for myself and my family and everybody looking up to me and stuff like that. So I feel I'm excited to go out there and do all of that, and not just that. I believe in my team, and I believe we have a good team, and I believe that we're going out there not just to be there, but to be able to come out, with something and just get the result. And I strongly believe in my team, and I'm confident. I would say we have a really good chance. I mean, we have a good team, like I said, and we're confident enough to go out there and face the challenges, no matter what it is, no matter who we're playing. You know, I believe we have a good team to be able to make it through the stage. So yeah, that's the goal, to keep the fire burning like that.
Just keep it burning and get what you want to get out of the World Cup.
Yeah, of course. They have to. It's something in sports that is a bit underrated. Momentum. You know, you've won the AFCON, you've won the W.Cup as well. So psychologically, it does something to you, and hopefully they carry that form into the World Cup. Even though you say the World Cup is a different ball game entirely. For Coach Thomas Dennerby, very interesting to see how his selection. Process for this game. Uchenna Kanu, fantastic goal scorer. Of course, there's Desire Paranoze. We know she's one of the best in this country. There's Francisca Odega as well. So I think it's poor for options. And as a manager, you want that kind of headache. You prefer that to not having very limited options. Let me put it that way. So yeah, fingers crossed. We'll continue. Of course, a countdown to the World Cup tomorrow. The Super Falcons are in that very tough group featuring Norway, the host nation, France, and South Korea. Let's move on from the World Cup now. Of course, we'll come back to it tomorrow. Let's talk about the Nigerian Professional Football League. It's just one more match day to go now. Teams are still in the sports in Super 6, while other teams are getting relegated. Not a very good one for Niger Tornadoes. They have been confirmed relegated from the Nigerian Professional Football League. But for Kano Pillars, they're still the top three, Super 6 spots, and they will be competing against the likes of Rangers and the other teams that have qualified, Aqua United as well. So that's results coming from match day 21, Group A results. Lobby Stars edging Wiki Tourist 2-1. Good one for Lobby, but a sad one as well too. With the passing of the coach Solomon Ogbedi, wishing RIP to him. Not a very good one at all. Actually, I don't know if they've managed to play that game and win it. So it's a sign of good character from Lobby Stars. Rangers 1-0 over Rivers United. They're already qualified already, but like I said, Rangers just need to carry the momentum into the
85th minute goal.
Another late goal, right? Same happened in the previous game as well. To that was Felix Ogbuke that scored that one for them. So it shows you Rangers, they go until the end, and
they're not carried away by the fact that they've already sealed a spot in the Super 6, so they just want to keep on winning and just stay top.
Exactly. Kwara United 2-1 over Remo Stars. Fantastic results for Kwara United. Aimba 2-0 over Niger Tornadoes, and that was the result that condemned Niger Tornadoes into Division 2. That's the Nigerian National League. Too bad. MFM 2-1 over Katsina United, still with a chance of making the Super 6.
Absolutely.
That one's going to go down to the wire. Insurance 1-0 over Sunshine Stars. Insurance, how far are they from the relegation spot now?
Very, very far. We'll come back to that later. Let's just run through the
Group B.
Okay, Group B, there you have it. Plateau United and Yobe Desert Stars 2-0. Nasarawa and Goran ended 2-0. Goran, that's a good one for them going away from home to pick up a point there. And of course, for Pillars and Delta Force, it was 3-0. Pillars were ruthless in this one. They needed the playoff spot, and they scored all the goals they could and got into that. Aqua United, are they actually trying to let it slip away?
Slip what? They've qualified.
What I'm saying is that why not just keep the momentum, see what Rangers are doing, play at home, get all the points and all that. But Abia Warriors, of course, we know what they are fighting for. They needed that point, and they got it at Aqua United. 2-2 it ended. Economy Warriors and FC Ifeanyi, but this is it. Economy Warriors are losing for the second time at home.
Incredible
because
stuff.
They've been the fans have been banished, so they're playing behind closed doors. No motivation. What's happening to Economy Warriors? Another loss for them at home. For Heartland and Gombe United, Gombe won by 1-0. And this is what it's looking like right now, Tayo. You were asking me about insurance now.
Wow.
The position. Fantastic.
Wow. I mean,
fantastic. Right now, 21 games and 28 points, which is a good one. Goal difference, I won. Yeah, it's okay. But then at the end of the day, all they have to do in their final game, just win it, and you avoid the red light because you've seen all the stars that are there. Sunshine Stars, they're there.
Quite United.
Despite ending their winless run and all that, but then they're still there. Niger Tornadoes, of course, relegated. Ramos Stars, yeah, okay.
Fantastic turnaround for Bendel Insurance.
Absolutely.
I mean, we talked about them a lot of the time on the show and how they weren't winning their home games. They were having too many draws, and they've managed to turn those draws into wins, albeit slim wins. It doesn't really matter. 3 points is all that counts. And for Bendel Insurance, it's all about making sure that they don't go down. I imagine from next season, ambitions is going to get higher. It's going to have higher ambitions and all that. For this season, it's just about stabilizing and not going down like we've seen Shooting Stars go down recent past. So fantastic result for Bendel Insurance. MFM is there still trying to get into the top 3. Lobby Stars as well. Interesting. I mean, last year there was a lot of talk about how the season ended and now they became default champions. But they've shown this season that
wasn't really much of a fluke. But
then
we'll judge them at Super 6.
But the fact that they're in contention tells you they're a very good side.
They're a good side.
So let's go to
Group B.
Table B now.
Yeah. Table B was looking like Aqua United still maintaining that top spot. But the difference is right now they have a 38 point. Could have been 40 because Rangers are still on their 40, maintaining that goal difference of 6 with Rangers. That's what they are having. But for Aqua United, they are still topping. No one is taking that away from them at all. No
Just one ahead of Kano Pillars.
Kano Pillars were on 37 after 21 games. Ifeanyi, of course, that victory away from home put them in 3rd position. You have Nassauer and Academy Warriors completing at that. Yeah, there you have it in Group B. Delta Force also, they move over from the red light down to the white lane, which is a good one. For Plateau United and Abia Warriors, well, it's still a long one. So what you have is top 3 good to go to Super 6. But the other ones, okay, you're still going to fight and see if they can get into it. But right now, Delta Force, Plateau United, Abia Warriors is going to be fights to finish. Heartland, Gombe, Go Round, Yobe Desert Stars. Yobe Desert Stars, of course, we know they've been gone for a long time now. But what you have from Go Round, Gombe, Heartland, Abia Warriors, Delta Force, and Plateau United is going to be fights to finish on the final day. All right, let's go back to Kano Pillars, how they were able to, get that victory that we talked about. We saw pictures of them earlier. They were really ruthless in that game against Delta Force.
3-0.
Double, 3-0. Not Kano Pillars, I'm sorry, Rivers and Rangers, yeah. That's the game, right? The way you have Chidera Eze, scoring 85th minute, and they were able to get that victory. And for them, they maintain the top spot, 40 points they have right now. So that's him right there, celebrating that goal. They needed it, and they got it, and Rivers couldn't even get anything out of it. We were thinking maybe Rivers, since Rangers will be relaxed because they're already qualified for the Super 6, so they were not relaxed at all. They had to put all their arsenals on, and they got that, just 1 goal and 3 points, and right now 40 points. So very, very comfortable. All they have to do, maintain this into the Super 6 and see if we can win the league again, because right now for me they are favorites to win it, because their coach wasn't just named coach of the year for nothing. Now pictures coming from Bendel Insurance for them, of course they also needed a goal. They know what they needed to do to get into 5th position with 28 points after 21 games. All they had to do was to beat Sunshine Stars at home. We were actually complaining about the fact that they keep drawing their games, but this time around they just didn't want to do that, so they had to go into it, get the goal needed, and what happened? They had to get into it. So Junior was the one who fired the shot at Sunshine, and after that, it was just good to go for them.
Yeah, fantastic. 1-0, 3 points. That's all that really matters. And it looks like they will do enough to stay in the NPFL for 1 more season. And like I said, going forward, I like to see more ambition from the side. A lot has been said about how there was no time for them to do proper recruiting, because of the way they got promoted. It was late. The season was started already. This time there won't be that excuse, and so the management of Bendel Insurance will, of course, put everything in place for a better season. One of those traditional clubs, in the country. You want to see them doing well, because when they do well, it helps to, make the league more popular. So we'll see how it pans out there. Okay, so That's it for the. Before we go, could you still want to say something?
Solomon Ogbe, just mention of him. I mean, when we got the news on Monday that he slumped and he died, you know, we're like, okay, let's try and confirm this. Is this true or not? But when they started the game, he wasn't on the bench. That's when the confirmation came from the club and that he has passed away. It was really a sad one, but the good thing is, or rather, the players were just able to carry on. How they were able to, hide it from the players for them to go on and play that game and all that. They just carried on and were able to at least get the victory for him. Solomon Ogbe, we've had him on the show several times. He's one of those coaches that is more like
he's a veteran.
Delight. Yes,
he's a veteran, and it's because he's been on the scene for a while now, and he's been doing decent things. Helped Lobby win the league last season, even though you'd say the season ended abruptly, but you still cannot take any credits away from him. So for him to have passed, it's very, very sad. Sad for Lobby and sad for the Nigerian Professional Football League as a whole.
Absolutely, he died on Monday at about 2 p.m. after he was taken to the hospital when he complained about low blood pressure, which, according to our sources, he has actually complained about before, but just couldn't survive this after,
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers are with the families, and may his soul rest in peace.
Right. Okay, let's move on the show now. Let's talk about. We're counting down to the FIFA Women's World Cup. We're also counting down to the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, which is going to be hosted in Egypt. Nigeria's Super Eagles are part of that competition. They're coming back after missing back-to-back editions, and there's a lot of expectations. Now, all the guys that have been there and done it, I'm talking about the 1994 sets, they're having a lot to say about the Super Eagles going into this AFCON. Daniel Amokachi was very prominent in 1994. Okay, down the bull, right. Very prominent in 1994. Taibo West, not so, wasn't part of that team, but he's also been speaking. They've all been talking about what they're expecting from the Super Eagles in Egypt later this year.
For a manager, for a coach, for a player, when you go into a championship, you want to win it. We have a bunch of sexy players that can do it for us. I've said it over and over again. I'm a big fan of this generation. Unfortunately, we are not seeing, the 100% potential that I can see. We just need to get that out of them. Quality in the back, quality in the middle, quality in attack. We have it, believe me. So we just have to find the right ingredients. If you want to make good egusi soup, you must get the right ingredients to make a beautiful soup. And we have that ingredients. We just have to bring the best out of these players.
I think it's going to be a very fabulous season for Nigeria. And I think the boys and the coaches know the tax at stake. And there is a lot of expectation. And I believe that also they should be very careful and also be very sensitive in the sense that there is no more lesser team in the rest of African nations.
Former Super Eagles defender Pastor Taribo West. I'm not sure he's still a pastor these days. They also listen to Daniel the Bull Amokachi, all believing, all thinking the Super Eagles have what it takes to go and excel in Egypt. Of course, it's going to be a very, very tough tournament. There's no two ways about it. Look at all the top stars that are coming to Egypt. It's a summer AFCON, so there's no club versus country route. All the players are going to be available, which means it's going to be a very competitive tournament.
Absolutely, very, very competitive. Now, and there's one man who knows what the Super Eagles can really do to win the Nations Cup. Peter Rufai has won it before, so he wants them to really put the country first. And of course, with that, they can win it.
The Nigerian Super Eagles squad we have, currently are good. There's no doubt about that. They are good. All we need to do is really pep talk them, and from the technical aspect, they really, really have to talk to these boys. Make sure they give their best. They should see the country first, not themselves as playing from their different clubs. First of all, the nation. This is AFCON. This is African World Cup. We don't joke with it. So all they need to do give their very best, because they are good in terms of good. Technically, they are good. So they just have to, impute that discipline, character, make sure that they give the nation the trophy, and that's all.